Employee and Labor Relations, the common law doctrine of Respondeat Superior. The Latin meaning of Respondeat Superior is let the master answer. This means an employer can be held liable for actions of its employees that occur within the scope and course of assigned duties or responsibilities in the course of their employment, regardless of whether the act is negligent or reckless. Determining exactly what constitutes conduct within the scope of employment is a difficult task and the subject of numerous judicially developed rules and guidelines. Therefore, identifying a precise framework here is not practical. In determining whether an employee has departed from the course and scope of their employment, however, a number of factors should be considered and weighed. These factors include, but are not limited to, intent of the employee, nature, time, and place of the employee's conduct, type of work the employee was hired to do, incidental acts the employer should reasonably expect the employee to do, amount of freedom allowed to the employee in performing his or her duties, and the amount of time consumed in the personal activity. The concept of Respondeat Superior has implications in many employment situations, such as management promises, auto accidents, and sexual harassment. For example, if a manager promised additional vacation time to a candidate and the candidate accepted the position based on the promise, even if the promise wasn't in writing and not the employer's normal vacation policy, and the manager made the promise without prior approval, the employer could be required to provide the benefit. For example, while driving an employer's delivery truck, an auto accident occurs. If the truck driver's negligence results in an injury, the person injured in the accident may bring the truck driver's employer into the lawsuit. For example, Burlington Industries versus Ellerith 1998 highlights the issues of vicarious liability, an element of Respondeat Superior that means an employer may be held accountable for the harmful actions of its employees, whether or not the employer is aware of those actions. Kimberly Ellerith worked for Burlington Industries in Chicago as a salesperson from March 1993 to May 1994. During that time, she claimed she was subjected to ongoing sexual harassment by Ted Slowick. He wasn't her direct supervisor, but did have the power to approve or deny a tangible employment action, AT, concerning her employment. Although Ellerith was aware of Burlington's policy prohibiting sexual harassment during her employment, she didn't complain about the harassment until after she resigned. After resigning, she filed a complaint with the EEOC, and when she received a right to sue letter in October 1994, filed suit against Burlington. When will the employer be liable for the employee's conduct? The basic test for vicarious liability of an employer is whether the employee's tort was committed within the scope of employment. A tort is broadly defined as a civil wrong for which the law provides a remedy. In the case of Burlington Industries versus Ellerith, the Supreme Court decided, in part, that an employer is subject to vicarious liability to a victimized employee for an actionable, hostile environment created by a supervisor with immediate or successively higher authority over the employee. Companies should be prepared to accept a certain portion of responsibility for their employees' on-the-job actions as a cost of doing business. They should take steps to communicate parameters regarding their behavior by developing clear and identifiable policies regarding expected employee conduct, particularly when employees have a significant amount of off-site autonomy. For the SPHR, Employee Relations and Engagement, makes up 20% of the exam content. You must be able to develop and/or monitor strategies impacting employee satisfaction and performance, including diversity and inclusion, safety, security, and labor strategies. I'm assuming that you're here because you want to study hard, so I don't believe you'll need any good luck. Join the 365 HR Certified Study Group on Facebook today. It's free. Information compiled from PHR SPHR Study Guide by Sandra M. Reed and Ann M. Borgaitis and the World Wide Web. If you are studying for the PHR SPHR, you should purchase this book as a comprehensive study tool, which I believe you will find invaluable as you seek your HR certification.